Hey guys, thanks for joining us for today's edition of Ace This Recipe. I'm Chef Jason Morris, your Ace Hardware grilling expert, and we are hanging out here in the barbecue trailer in colorful Colorado getting ready for today's recipe. The recipe we have for you, world's best ham, and it is time to cook this on the Weber kettle. So we're going to get that beautiful charcoal flavor to it. We're going to supplement some smoke in there with some post oak to give us that really nice earthy wood finish to it. But the beauty of this recipe is you can download this recipe and tweak it and adjust it as you want. We don't have any curing salts, curing agents, pink salt, or anything like that. This is going to go for a couple days in our brine. We're going to add a lot of flavor to it. We're going to make it fantastic, and then the best part, we're going to glaze it and finish it off. Super fast, super simple. Definitely going to be a crowd pleaser for you. So don't forget, from time to time, that little eye is going to pop up top here or there or here. That is our information station. That's going to let you into the world of gear, gadgets, and grills. It's going to tell you everything we're cooking on and cooking with today. So thanks so much for joining us. We love cooking with you. We hope you enjoy hanging out with us as well. It is time to get some prep work done. So we went ahead and printed our recipe off, right? You can always go down below into that comment section, click print, and follow along. Tell you what, we have a beautiful shoulder butt. You can do a shoulder, you can do a picnic. We went with 7 pounds. This is about 7.25 pounds. This is going to be absolutely fantastic. We went boneless so that we have easy access and really instant gratification as well. A little bit of maple syrup, a little bit of cinnamon for that woodsiness, a little bit of our bayou dust. We have some brown sugar. We're going to make a beautiful little glaze for it. And then we went ahead and got a bucket ready with one of our brine bags because we're going to give this guy a soak in our chef's brine. We're going to start it off very, very neutral today, right? Chef's brine is going to give you that salt, sugar, spices, herbs, aromatics. And we're going to let this soak for 2 days, so it really has a chance to flavor this piece of meat. Well, the prep part of this is super easy, right? We took the pork shoulder out of the package, right? We didn't cut it, we didn't trim it, we didn't do anything. We just took it out of the package and we're letting it drain. We went ahead and followed our package instructions for the chef's brine. We put our brine bag inside the bucket. We are all set to go. Now what we're going to do is take this pork shoulder and set it carefully in the brine. Now, that is all set and ready to go. So what we'll do is we now leave this in the brine. Let you see that there. That is swimming away, doing its magic. This is now going to sit for 48 hours. So we won't even come back and look at this guy for 2 days. We are cooking on our Weber Performer kettle today. Absolutely just one of my favorite grills, right? So easy to use, does such a fantastic job. And everything about it, I have a great work surface. I've got a nice big kettle. I've got offset baskets so I can go indirect. And then the beauty of it is, like I've shown you before, I flip that grate upside down and hold those doors open. Now I can easily pour my charcoal into the baskets and get ready to go. So let me tell you what we did. First of all, we've got our tumbleweed set and ready to go. I've got about 22 briquettes in there. I'm using these beautiful B&B charcoal briquettes today, so we've got about 22 in the chimney. Then down in the basket, you can see in here, I've got 6 or 7 briquettes in each basket unburnt. What I'm going to do is light the chimney, get that all set and ready to go, get those glowing hot. Then, so that I have a long sustained heat, but also the ability to really manipulate this and go up in temperature, down in temperature like I need, I've added some unburned ones in there so that we can add that to it, and all of a sudden we've got a little bit longer burn and the ability to go up and down in temp. Cleaned out the inside of my kettle. I've got about a 1/4 inch gap on all the 3 bottom vents, because what I want to do is slow the temperature in and slow the temperature out so that we can get started in about that 225 range for smoking. So let's go ahead and light the tumbleweeds. We'll light those guys on both sides. Now we'll take our chimney, put that on top, and let that go. So pretty quick and pretty easy. We're just going to let this go for a couple minutes. Really not worry about it too much. That chimney, because it's only about half full, boy, it's really going to start in a hurry, and we'll be up and smoking here in no time. Then, okay, the charcoal is lit in the chimney, and the chimney's doing a great job. And like I said before, I've got some unburned charcoal down in the baskets. That's going to help a sustained, even, wonderful heat. I picked out some wood chunks, nothing too huge, nothing too small, but I'm going to put those on the top of these burnt briquettes when the time comes, just to give us a nice even smoke. I want to clarify, the bottom, I have the bottom vents half open. I think that's important because I want to allow that air to come up, and then I'll slow it down on the top. So I have the bottom about half open, set and ready to go. It is time to make our glaze. So we added our cinnamon. I say a teaspoon, add as much or as little as you want. We added Bayou dust. I added about a tablespoon and a half, 2 tablespoons of that, and then the maple syrup as well to the brown sugar. Now, what we're gonna do is just go in here and mix this up. And now we've got a beautiful ham glaze. Okay, we've got a beautiful little ember pile going. It is time now to pour those briquettes right on top. And I'm trying to go about half, right? I said we had about 22 in here, so I'm trying to do about 11 and 11 on each side. But I want them on there when they are nice and rip-roaring hot, because that is going to be what I need to continue to light the rest of the briquettes and keep this fire going. Now, I'm going to add 1 chunk of wood for now on each side, and we are going to leave that and let it do its thing. Okay, we are all set up for indirect now, right? We've got those beautiful hot briquettes doing their thing. We've got a chunk of wood. It is time to add the lid, and now, let's do this so you can see it. Our desired temp's going to be 225 degrees. What I'm going to do is leave the top open so I can watch that temperature climb and then slow it down as it hits that 225. Okay, we are set. We're at 225. We took the ham out of the brine. We didn't rinse it. That's important. Now, we're going to make some cuts just into the skin, into the fat, not deep into the flesh. We're going to make some diagonal cuts here. This is going to open this ham up really beautifully on the top and allow it to just take in even more of that smoke. And that is it. Now, we're going to let this smoke for 1 to 2 hours. The recipe calls for 2 hours. It really depends on your preference. I'm going to say leave it alone, let it go for 2 hours. Then when we come back, we'll start tracking its temperature. So, time to get the lid on and let it go. Look at that beauty. Okay, here's your chef's tip of the day. When it comes near the end of your smoking time, that's when I adjust the grill up and open the dials more so I can get more air in there, because then it's climbing while I'm getting ready to do the next step. And that next step is, I'm going to go ahead and carefully lift this guy up, right? And then I'm going to add it to the pan, and then I'll put the pan back on there quick. I put a cup of water in the pan. Now, what's going to become important? I'm going to use my iGrill 2, and I'm going to pack that into the biggest, fattest part right there, because now that we are set and ready to go here, it's in the pan, it is covered, life is good. Watch out for any embers that are in there. Okay, this is all covered, set, and ready to go. Now I'm going to start tracking its temperature up to that 140, 145 degree range. Then we will uncover it and start the glazing. So now, looking ain't cooking. We know that. We say that a lot. We're going to get this guy closed and get this thing on the way to 140, 145 degrees. Okay, we hit that 144 degrees. So anywhere between 140 and 145 will work. But we hit that 144 degrees. Now it is time to give it its first glaze. So we'll go ahead here, mix up our glaze, right? We turned up the grill as well, too. We adjusted it up to start getting in that 400 degree range during the last little bit of the cook, right? We always say, you know, in the last few minutes, go ahead and get it set, and that is exactly what we did. So get this applied on there, get that glaze. The skin and fat will tighten up here beautifully. I just want to get a little bit of glaze on there. Keep that probe in there because we do want to track the temperature. But now it is time to take this the last 10 degrees. So you can figure at that 400 degree range, to go from 145 to 155 is probably going to take us about 40 minutes to an hour, depending on ambient temperature and things like that. So I'm going to glaze this now probably every 15 minutes. Well, how is that for a little doneness flyover? Look at that. All those beautiful nooks and crannies. Hey, what do we, wait. Couple missing pieces. Quality control, purely quality control. Let's go back down here and focus on this. How beautiful is that, though? Look at that. Still have the herbs in there from the brine. You've got all that brown sugar and rub and more. That is a gorgeous ham. It's time to finish this up and sample some more. Yeah, the trailer smells amazing. It's like pork smell, and then there's glaze, right? The smell of that beautiful glaze, and then we've got charcoal and post oak, and really heaven. I assume that is what it smells like, this right here. Hey, I'm Chef Jason Morris, your Ace Hardware grilling expert. Thanks for joining us for today's edition of Ace This Recipe. Don't forget to head up top to that eye. That's our information station. You know the drill. You can get into the world of gear, gadgets, grills, and more just by clicking on that. Today's recipe, this guy right here, go down into the description, click on the link. You can click, print, and follow along. We've got that recipe set and ready to go for you. Then, while you're down there, get into that comment section and tell us, what would you like to learn? How can we be more helpful? We love your comments. We love responding to you and interacting with you, so keep that coming. We really appreciate it. Then while you're down there, ring the bell, subscribe to the Ace Hardware YouTube channel. Tell your friends, tell your family, let everybody know it is time to subscribe to the channel. That way you can be notified when the next Ace This Recipe video is live. Yeah. It like just stops your breath. It's so beautiful. And I'll tell you, like, the cool part is I like to go after these tasty little nuggets, like those little gems right there. And then, I mean, my recommendation for you, make 2 of these. That way you can share one, keep the other one for you for sandwiches, and chop it and put it on salad. But unbelievable. Thanks for joining us. Probably going to have that little guy right